Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Dopamine Fiend. And today we're going to talk about dopamine overload, when too much feels like nothing. So buckle up and let's dig right in. So, do you guys know that feeling when you've had too much of a good thing? That is dopamine overload, my fiends. It's when your brain's reward system gets so flooded with stimulation that nothing feels rewarding anymore. We all scroll, sip, click, chase all day. And according to neuroscientist Dr. Volkow, chronic overstimulation from caffeine, chaos, or social media actually shrinks your dopamine receptor sensitivity in your reward center. So even though you're doing more, you're feeling less. So I want you guys to think of your dopamine receptors like tiny speakers, okay? When you blast them 24/7, they start sounding distorted. The volume's still up, right? But the music, aka your joy, your focus, your motivation, gets a little fuzzy. According to Harvard Health Publishing, constant novelty like new reels, new pings, new little hits keeps your dopamine on a hamster wheel. And it's like your brain's chasing the stimulation, but not actual satisfaction. Also, from Dr. Wolfram Schultz at Cambridge University, he said, when your dopamine system loses its contrast, like the rhythm of up then down, it forgets how to feel balanced. That's when you start mistaking chaos for excitement. And honestly, I feel those days sometimes. I feel like it, and I think also, I've looked into this too. We'll talk about this in another episode. It relates with bipolar disorder. If you thought about, the rhythm of up and down. Now, in bipolar disorder, it's a little different. It still has to do with dopamine, but it's dysregulated levels. But that'll be another episode for another time. But I know you guys probably feel or understand what I mean. And I always thought I was ADHD. I was never really diagnosed by a doctor. But after looking into all of this, I realized that my dopamine was just off balance. So that's kind of why I'm here, to teach myself and teach you guys. So now, some people heard that and thought, cool, I'll just quit everything for a week and boom, I'll be healed. Enter dopamine fasting. According to Dr. Grinspoon's article for Harvard Health blog, there was a Silicon Valley version of dopamine fasting that went viral. Everyone was cutting off their phones, they stopped eating their favorite foods, and even would avoid eye contact. But the kicker was, that's not how dopamine works. You can't just give yourself a quote-unquote tolerance break and think that if you quit everything and then bounce back to it, it'll be as vivid and as consuming as you want it to be. No, you can't. That's not how dopamine works, guys. It is brain chemistry. Yeah, okay? So you can't fast from it. It's a neurotransmitter. It's not gluten. It's like I said, it's brain chemistry. So Dr. Grinspoon further explained that the problem wasn't dopamine itself. It's overstimulation. Real dopamine fasting isn't about starving your brain. It's about giving your reward system a breather. He called out the hype crowd for doing it wrong because they turned a neuroscience concept into somewhat of a TikTok challenge. And when he talked about the overstimulation, he's so right. We are in the most dopamine-saturated era of human history. Phones, TVs, ads, bright, shiny, flashing things. It's everywhere. TikTok never runs out, right? So the actual goal behind this is to find moderation, but don't deprive yourselves. In a Stanford Medicine News interview that was reported by Bruce Goldman, he interviewed Dr. Anna Lemke. She's the author of Dopamine Nation. I have yet to read that. I read a summary, but I actually want to further dive into it. She said, "We've built a world that keeps us chronically overstimulated and joyless." There was also an excerpt she said about dopamine and our phones, and pretty much that our phones are like the hypodermic needle for dopamine. It just constant, it's everywhere. Dopamine loops everywhere to keep us stuck, addicted, consuming all of this content, right? But her solution was just short-term abstinence and real balance. Take strategic breaks from instant gratification. So boredom, yes, boredom, can resensitize your brain to genuine pleasure. And I have tried doing this. Honestly, I've tried making myself bored. It is more challenging than I thought because I've always been the person on the go. I have to be doing something. I have to go somewhere. I have to clean something if I'm not doing anything on my computer. Like, I have to be doing something. So the other day I set aside like 15-20 minutes of just sitting there doing absolutely nothing. Just for 15-20 minutes. I didn't want to, I just wanted to sit there and kind of like meditate and just visualize everything, right? The first 5 minutes, 10 minutes was a little hard, and it got a little easier. But then when I hopped back into my work and my creativeness of what I have to do, man, I enjoyed it a lot more. And it was just that little time frame. It really does make all the difference. And I didn't overwhelm myself by taking an hour, 2 hours, 3 days, I just short breaks, but, consistent over time. That's my goal. So, all right, guys, I'm going to give you guys a quick little rundown of 5 tips that will help you to detox the right way. So, number 1, you got to trim all those toxic tabs. You don't need 6 apps screaming at you. You know what I mean? You pick Facebook, scroll, nothing. Get out of it. TikTok, scroll. Sometimes a little longer on TikTok, right? Boom, bored, get out of it. Instagram, Tinder, same thing. You don't need all of those apps all at once. So, delete one for a little bit, mute another. Because according to Harvard Medical School, even a 24-hour social detox lowers your cortisol and boosts your focus. And I've noticed nowadays everyone has goals and dreams they want to accomplish, but they don't understand how they can't get it done. But when you start writing down your time too and realizing where all your time is spent, it humbles you real quick. So, number 2, respect the come down. If you finish something, don't start something else immediately. Just pause and breathe. Dr. Schultz proved dopamine peaks during anticipation. So let yourself feel the win before moving on. And I think that's honestly a great idea. I might actually do that myself, honestly. I have so many projects that I'm working on, and I time block everything because I'll finish it and go to the next one. But I don't ever give myself space in between to, let it settle and go on to the next one. And then I fry myself out and I end up finishing early, or I just don't want to finish it anymore. Yeah. So that's a very good point. Number 3, fast with purpose, not ego. Dr. Grinspoon says the goal isn't sensory starvation. It's balance. So you can skip the dopamine monk cosplay and just take small mindful breaks from high stimulation habits and re-enter life with intention. Just one day, one moment at a time. You really don't have to overwhelm yourself either. Like I said from tip 1, it's best to not overwhelm yourself. Identify your triggers, identify what goes on and where your dopamine leads you to, and just, work your way through it. It's okay. We are not all perfect. None of us are. So, not even these doctors that I quote, I promise you. They probably had to go through a lot of stuff to realize where this is coming from. They had to live it mostly, right? Number 4, choose clean dopamine. Trade all those digital highs for real world ones. Sunlight, laughter, connection, music. And the thing with connection is that human connection has been around for millions of years. It's wired in our brains to want to crave connection. So don't deprive yourself of talking to people. Now, if it's not good talk, then you can replace it with better talk. But you can't just put yourself in a cave and I'm going to reset my dopamine by not talking to anybody. No, that's not how that works, babe. Not how that works. UCLA neuroscience found natural rewards create sustainable dopamine rhythms that won't fry your receptors. So, yeah, sunlight, and I've been doing sunlight a lot. Oh my gosh, I love the sun. I love the sun so much. I honestly, when I drive around now, I don't even wear sunglasses because I want to enjoy the sunlight in my eyes. Is it bright? Oh yeah. I mean, I don't stare at the sun and burn my vision and my corneas, but I sit there and I, just enjoy the sunlight on my skin and just feel the warmth of it. It's honestly, it's put me in a better mood almost every single time. Number 5, and I'm calling a lot of you people out on this one, so don't come at me because I'm not watching you, but I'm watching you. Stop multi-doping. No more phone plus TV plus snack plus email plus existential crisis combo. I do it. I do it. I was researching this, and one of the things to fix your dopamine was to stop doing 5 things at once. Oh man, did I feel called out more than ever. I would literally sit there on my couch, TV on, computer in front of me because I had to do some work, phone in my hand, scrolling on TikTok, and having like some pretzels. I literally, when I read this, I'm like, how do they know my life? Like, how do they know that I'm doing this? But I realized I'm not the only one, and there was a friend of mine too. I was telling her about the episodes that I'm doing, and when she sent me a video on Snapchat, she was literally doing the same thing. She had her phone in her hand talking to me while she was doing diamond painting. And she said it's therapeutic, which I believe, but she was doing multiple things at once, and I heard a TV on in the background. So she knows exactly who this is for. Jordan, I love you. So don't hate me. You'll probably send me a Snapchat. Anyways, but yes, multitasking is actually terrible for your dopamine. And that's one of the symptoms for ADHD. So just do one task at a time, and it will really help. Because according to cognitive brain research, the multitasking splinters the signals for your dopamine, and it completely murders your focus. And I always think, no, I can focus better when I'm doing 2-3 things at once. Actually, that's false. Because I never actually finish a project when I'm doing 3 things at once. I have this idea in mind, and then I won't finish it because I'm doing 3 other things. Or I get stuck doing the one thing, It's hard, but it's doable. So basically, the dopamine fasting doesn't mean no life like a caveman living under a rock. It just means less fake life. Because when you stop flooding your system, you start feeling again. Your joy comes back, your focus returns, and life feels alive again. So, next episode, we're diving into habits, how the repetition and reward will hijack your brain, and how to rebuild your loops so that they serve you, not own you. Dopamine Fiend. Backed by neuroscience, delivered with sass. I'll see you next episode.